The Star Wars YouTube channel has dropped another 30-second promo for Star Wars Andor Season 2, this one called Purpose. So, just like I did with Do or Die, I thought I'd record my reaction to it and provide you guys with my thoughts on it, and hopefully maybe a little more talking about the clip, the promo itself, and not so much about the broader things going on that I'm thinking about with the show. But you know what? Let's just jump right on in.
I've placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the SAR-2 unit.
Every story,
Rebellions are built on hope.
okay, has a beginning.
Want to fight? Or you want to win?
Okay.
We have to beat them. I believe you have purpose in making that happen.
If we
On
do
other
not
thing,
stand
press.
together,
Let me nominate you.
the Empire cannot win.
Andor, the final season, streaming April 22nd, only on Disney+.
Okay, so there's a lot to break down there. First, the promo is opening up with a clip from New Hope with Princess Leia. Which line did she say?
Placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the SAR-2 unit.
So not everything with from is just that specific clip of her saying, R2-D2 has the Death Star plans. Then, of course, have Geonosis.
Rebellions are built on hope.
And I really liked how they are connecting Andor to it's a prequel to both Rogue One and A New Hope as well. And has a beginning. And then what did Andor say here?
You want to fight? Or you want to win?
Yeah, do you want to fight or do you want to win? And yeah, there's probably a big difference. And that could connect somehow to Rose Tico's line in The Last Jedi. Stop fighting what you hate and start saving what you love. Something along that line. I may have gotten the words incorrect, but the sentiment is correct. And yeah, do you want to fight or do you want to win? Because yeah, you can fight all you want, but you need a purpose if you want to win. And this promo is called Purpose for a reason. I don't think it's a coincidence that they seem to be talking both about a metatextual reason, a Watsonian reason, we could also say. Well, this exists in part to help explain or help lead into Rogue One and New Hope. That's its outside universe, but inside universe. Well, the purpose is not of the story leading up, though that does. But the purpose has to do with, I think, why are they fighting? If we go on,
We have to beat them.
we have to beat them. That's part of the purpose for fighting the Empire.
I believe you have purpose in making that happen.
Purpose in making that happen. You can kind of see the idea of purpose is really ingrained in this promo, both in terms of us communicating to us, the audience, and/or as a show's purpose for them telling this story to us, but also why these characters are doing what they're doing. They have a purpose. They are seeking purpose, and all that has to do with fighting the Empire, ending tyranny, bringing democracy, bringing liberty back to the galaxy.
If we do not stand together,
If we do not stand together,
we'll be crushed.
I really like that line from Mon Mothma. If we do not stand together, we will be crushed. It's a very important line, a community-based line, if you will, a group solidarity message. There's a reason why unions were very instrumental in establishing labor rights for workers. Workers banded together. One worker could easily be silenced by the company, could easily be dispatched. But the whole group, well, that does not always look too good when they try to do something. And and companies, or at least people working for companies, have done that. There's a lot of examples in history, but let's just go with an example out of Chicago, the Haymarket riot, I believe, or if I got it correct, I might have gotten the wrong one, but basically, confrontation between labor unions and the police. Something exploded, it went bad, and while initially the anti-labor forces definitely had the upper hand, that did help contribute to public sentiment. You can even look at outside of labor relations to more of, fighting tyranny. The UK couldn't defeat Nazi Germany by itself. The Soviet Union couldn't, and neither could the United States, only by working together with the other allies, the French, well, the French resistance, I should say, and the Free French forces, but also the, other anti-fascist forces in both Italy and Germany. You had, the neutral Swiss who occasionally turned a blind eye to things, going both ways, sadly. But hey, they did occasionally turn a blind eye. Franco for not joining in and supporting his fascist ally. There's many more examples. You have everyone in the Balkans. Probably the only time the Balkans cooperated on anything. But the point being is, defeating Nazi Germany and ending World War II in Europe was very much a team effort, and maybe the Soviet Union could have eventually bled Nazi Germany dry. I think the UK could definitely have held out for a long time, so as long as the Empire in the United States and the rest of the Western Hemisphere, the Americas, were around and trading with them, the UK would have been able to survive. Maybe not win, but survive. And the US, the biggest problem would have been getting over the ocean. Would have definitely probably had some help from the UK, any Royal Navy forces that survived should the unfortunate have happened. But the point being is that was a team effort. They had to stand together or they would have been crushed, theoretically. What ifs in history can always be complex, if you will, because things happen for a reason, and if you change too much, basically you don't want to change characterizations, because that just fundamentally ignores everything, if that makes sense. Again, what ifs are good for understanding history and maybe having some fun, but you shouldn't take them as things, what if, as being definitive. Does that make sense? Complex there, probably not the best explanation, but even if we go into the Pacific theater during World War II, yeah, the United States did a lot, but the Japanese army was occupied fighting the Chinese communists and nationalists the entire time. It was a team effort. The Brits were there too, the Australians and the Kiwis. And generally, when you look at history, team efforts have always won. People often like the great man theory of history, where, one single person can be the driving force of change, progress, regression. And at times, a single person can be vastly influential, but let's just take World War II. Could Patton and Eisenhower and Montgomery, those three generals by themselves, win? No, they needed their armies. They needed the backings of the politicians. They needed a whole team around themselves to actually achieve victory. Okay, I love Theodore Roosevelt, but how much of his stuff could he have achieved if not for the fact that he had allies in Congress, that he had allies who were willing to help support his legislative priorities? He could have gotten a long way by himself, but he could have never truly won by himself. Same thing with the American Civil War. Lincoln couldn't have defeated the Confederates by himself. Apparently he could defeat vampires, but that's historical fantasy there. But I'm saying all this just to really point out that that line from Modern Monster I think is very important. Andor Season 2 is going to be bigger than Andor Season 1. Andor Season 1 was mostly about Andor as a person. This is going to be, I think, Andor as a person in a greater thing. He's moving beyond his own interests, if you will. Because think about it. He got involved in the rebellion because he was selling some stuff he stole from the Empire for credit. Then then Newton offered him a job that would get him even more credits. And then he got captured by the Empire and broke out because it was for selfish reasons, if you will. Though Nemec's manifesto was still starting to already affect Andor by that point. But eventually, by the end of the show, with everything there, yes, some of what Andor was doing was for partial selfish reasons, but you can already tell he's more embracing that embracing a bigger community beyond himself. He went back, to attend his mother's funeral. He rescued Bix from the ISB. Would he have probably done all that anyhow? But there's a good chance. But, that whole thing with their community at Ferrix was very important, and I think Andor had earlier in the episode taken almost the community for granted, and I think by the end of the show he understands, and I think in Season 2 He's in the community of the rebellion. He's supporting them. His purpose has been found. He's not aimless anymore, if you will. There's a lot of more stuff to break down, but I've been going on for about 11 minutes now, and I'm sure you guys want to say some stuff in the comment section down below, so feel free to say whatever you want, anything you have about my commentary on all this. It's a discussion, and that's what I want to have. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.